The Steelers reported to camp this week. Adam Schefter shared a picture. Check this out of Big Ben looking a little trimmer than usual. He still looks big, but that's Big Ben for you. He's big bone. Here is a lean, mean Ben Roethlisberger showing up for his 18th NFL season. So he may be old here, Geoff, but he's still got plenty of weapons around him. Makes him a viable fantasy option, I feel like, this season. What's your fantasy outlook for Big Ben and this group of Steelers receivers? Because he looked terrible last year.
He did, but again, Ben is a player he's an older veteran quarterback. He doesn't rush much, so people don't really want to talk about him for fantasy purposes. But this was a player who was QB 17. He threw it like 400 times in 15 games last year. That's really good for a pocket quarterback. That's the volume you want. I think the Steelers are going to try and dial it back a little bit this year too. But if Ben's a little bit healthier, if the arm is feeling better, which is what he says, he's 2 years removed, I think he's got potential here to smash his current valuation. He's going around QB 20, QB 22. Again, I think if you're targeting late round quarterbacks, Ben Roethlisberger makes a ton of sense. He's got Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool out there, not to mention Juju Smith-Schuster as his wide receiver 3. This guy is going to be able to air it out, and he's going to get some free touchdowns from guys like Claypool. So absolutely, I think as a late-round quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger is pretty good value right now, and people don't want to talk about it or want to trust it. But, again, even if he beats this out by 5-8 spots, I think it's very possible he ends up as a top 12 quarterback if he just bounces back a little, gets that completion percentage up. So, yeah, I'm again, it comes down to valuation, but I am kind of bullish on Ben Roethlisberger, especially if he's going around QB 20 or worse.
Yeah, for sure. Kenny, he's going to be among the league leaders in pass attempts, but his efficiency will have to rebound from last year.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Look, this guy, as you mentioned, the Steelers had the second highest percentage of pass plays in football last year. So there's no question that the volume's going to be there. And he has the talent at wide receiver that I do think that Ben Roethlisberger still is going to be a viable fantasy option. Of course, you need some sort of backup plan. You need to draft a Zach Wilson late in the draft to just kind of have someone to put in when Ben Roethlisberger inevitably gets hurt and misses a couple of games. But I do think for where he's going in drafts, I think it's a little bit too low. I think that he has plenty of guys there to throw to. That connection with Eric Ebron has continued to get better. There was that story last offseason about how they slept together. They lived in the same room. They lived in the same, all offseason, they stayed in the same apartment. So they were hell-bent on trying to make that work. And I think that that's going to continue to grow. And, we saw last year just the wealth of talent that they have. They bring back Juju Smith-Schuster, who's been the leader of that offense. I think that, the conditions are right once again for another great Steelers season. And I just think that they have the coaching staff, the leadership with Ben Roethlisberger to get over those issues that plagued them late in the season last year.